Hi, fellow friends, family, and fiber warriors. How are you today? It's been a while since I've touched base with you. I just wanted to come back and start off getting my feet wet again in the video arena with just some simple crafting. Get my head back into the space of doing this and have some fun, really. So today, what I was wanting to do was participate in the hashtag ABC April 2025 collaboration that Margaret at Sevenplaza and Toni at Crafty by Toni are hosting. Today is letter C. So my thought today was I'm going to play with corner pocket. So like angled pockets, but also on those angled pockets, I'm going to put a little surprise in them and put a little notebook or journaling spot inside. So that sort of dual purposes those things, and I wanted to bring you along for the ride. So first off, what I am playing with today, and I already started off by being crooked, what I'm playing with today is I make squares. This one happens to be 4x4 because I want to make one of those Reader Digest journal or Reader Digest books into a journal, and the page size on those is 5x7.25, so I'm limited on how big of a corner pocket I can make. So by making my square 4x4, I can then fold it corner to corner or use a scoreboard and make a score corner to corner so that I can fold it into a nice triangle, which mine's obviously still off, so I'll probably trim it a little bit to even that up. Life is about relaxing and enjoying it, not about stressing out about perfection. That's something that I've had to work on, being a type A personality, but I'm getting there and I'm enjoying life a lot more by doing that. So I'm just gonna square it up just a tiny bit. Like I said, this doesn't have to be an exact science. So basically, all you're going to need is your outside corner or your outside corner pocket, which can flip open. Crease that up. We'll go and decorate later, but then what we'll do is take and cut some paper for the inside. Again, we have to cut squares. We want to cut it a little bit smaller. So in this case, maybe we'll try this 3 3/4. Since I just took a sliver off the edges, it should work just fine. But we'll try some 3 3/4 paper. And I'm using my thicker copier paper. You can use any paper you want. I don't have, luckily, I don't have a lot of white scraps because, believe it or not, the other day I made a bunch of little notebooks, and in doing that I ended up using up all of my scraps of white paper. So what you want to do here, again, these are going to need folded corner to corner. Hopefully I get this straight. I don't think I've got it straight. We'll try this. Let's see if I score. I got it right that time. So I'm going to again fold these corner to corner, and these I'm definitely not worrying about trimming up to be perfect. I'm going to take and crease that down really good on the crease so that it folds down and stays folded down when assembled. Now, one thing you want to do when you go to assemble these, you can assemble them in different ways. You can put the paper in via staples, which is what I'm going to do today, just for ease, really. You could stitch them in as a signature, you know, like you do with signatures for in an actual journal. I just don't feel like going through that effort right now. I think I'm going to decorate the pocket so that you don't notice the staples so much. You can get colored staples, so it's not a big deal. But what I'm going to do, and what you saw me do, is put it in, scooch it around so that you've got a little bit of a reveal around the edges so that the white paper won't hang outside of your pocket when folded over. Now with staples, what you want to do is staple from the outside so that the straight part of the staple is actually on the outside. You don't notice it as much. It actually looks a little better if you do notice it. I'm stapling mine because of the size of this pocket a couple times. If you had a teeny tiny pocket, you could staple it once. You could actually, even in this case, staple it once. But again, I'm going to go back and crease this down. If I wanted to, if I was worried about these on the inside, I could reach in with a pair of pliers and squish them flatter. You don't have to. Sometimes it's hard to actually get them to lay in a way that you can get at them to squish them flatter. But they don't. In this case, it doesn't matter so much because we're not going to be worried about anything catching on them. But there are instances where you use staples where it's nice to be able to flatten like these pieces down a little bit flatter so that they don't catch on things, so that they're not as obtrusive, sticking out into the way of things. But that's something you can do. You don't have to do. Sometimes I like to do that a lot of times, just in my mind makes it look a little neater. Not that you're going to be inspecting this, but then what you've got is when you put this on the corner of a page. So for example, let me put my trimmer up. Say we've got a page here and we just glue that to the corner. Then, you know, you're using it as a pocket. So you can take and tuck something in here. And then you also can flip it open. You can journal on the cover. Well, I guess it depends on what the inside of your paper looks like. I'm using paper that just has a white interior cover. But then you've also got some pages here to journal on. So it's a nice little sneaky addition. If you made your paper, say you lopped your corner off, and I may do that even, lop the corners off in here. We could put a little Velcro tab. Give me just a second. I'll grab some. What we can do is grab some Velcro closures here. I'll get this out of the way. And let's say I want to cut this off. Oh, I don't know. I gotta cut it off to miss these circle tabs. So they are, let me measure, they're about 5/8 of an inch. I'm not gonna mark this, I'm just gonna cut it and see where we end up. Let me grab a set here. I have my sets put together so that the hook side and the loop side, or did I do that opposite? I don't know. But I have mine put together so that when I pull them off, they are all put together as sets. And it makes it easier than when you're applying them, because you're not worrying about, I guess I could have used half of it. You're not worried about sticking them on later when the backs are all sticky, because these have sticky backs. You can, if you want to, apply a little more glue to them before putting them on. But I've found that as sticky as these are, if you just go ahead and stick them, you generally don't have problems. It's not like this is something that you're going to be working all the time. I mean, if you're using it for a journaling spot, you're going to only be in it, you know, once or twice, most likely. So let's see if we can pull this apart. Whoops. And what did I talk about? Figures. It's not sticking, but I can add some glue then to stick that on. I may even take and, whoops. What I may do is actually take and pull it off. Maybe not. It's being a bugger and pulling my paper apart, actually. I'm going to have to put a tab on, I think. I may have to go ahead and pull this off, put a tab on the inside, glue it back on. I guess you get to learn how to improvise and fix on the go. And then I think I'm going to cut this in half because realistically this doesn't have to be, if I can get this side off without destroying this. Let me see. I think I get the first time luck, maybe? Fingers crossed. Okay, so we'll put these back together. I'm going to give it a cut in half because I really don't need the whole thing, I don't think. I'll stick that back in here for now. So, I think what I'll do is make it so that this side actually glues down to the page, since that corner's weakened now. I think we'll make it so that glues down, but on this side, I'm trying to think if I want to add a tab of some sort. I have some that I pre-cut out, and that would also let somebody know ahead of time. Be like a little indicator that, hey, this is something, and excuse my reach, this is something that you want to, you know, check out, open up. Let's see. I don't really want anything big. So I think I'm going to have to dig the bottom. That one's green. That one's sort of neutral. Not real keen on it, but I'll leave it there. This one has a nice blue background. That one might work. But it would be an indicator of, hey, there's something different about this. You know, go ahead and look and open it up. Usually when you're working in a journal, anything with like tabs, you know, or something sticking out on them, a lot of times is an indicator of, hey, look at this. You know, this opens up for you. So, let me get this attached. Hopefully the glue, nope, I've got to poke it open. We'll get this attached just to show that this is meant to be checked out. This is a wee tiny tab, but that's fine. I mean, this is going to be something that'll be based on where it sits on the corner of a page. It's going to be something where this little bit of a tab, in this case, the tininess of the tab is going to be nice because it's not going to stick beyond the edge of the journal, but it will be a visual reminder of, hey, look at this. You know, it's something that you want to go ahead and check out, that there's, you know, something hidden in there. So what I'm going to do is actually apply a little glue to this. Now that it decided to mangle it, we'll apply some glue. Let me get some on this side too. I haven't figured out the whole tweezer thing yet. I've got a really cheap set that I've been playing with and bending around and stuff like that, but I still haven't really figured them out. I mean, I think people say it takes a while to get used to using them, and I would definitely agree with that. Hopefully my head's not in the way here. So I'm just going to hold that for a few seconds. And just wanted to say, hey, how are you guys? Believe it or not, my wild people. Give a little background to some of you that don't know anything about me. I'm a wife and mother of two. The two are twin boy and girl, and they are getting older. They're off to school. That was definitely a transition, but it makes it nice. Gives me a little peace of mind during the day that, I know where they're at. They're being taken care of. They're learning, because they are definitely sharp as whips, but they're learning, and I get a little bit of a break, which I need for my mental health. I notice when they're home all the time, I get a little crazy. Kids can be a bit stressful, as you all know. So let's see. I'm trying to think what I've got that I would want to decorate with. I have a hodgepodge of things around here. Let's see if there's any maybe tabs or tickets or something like that that fits. Granted, this isn't real big, so it's something I gotta sort through and try to find some of the smaller items. Doesn't have to be, all matchy-matchy if I don't want it to be. A lot of times people say, like, when you watch Roxy Creations, she a lot of times says, hey, if you don't know, start with some book page. I may or may not throw down some book page. We'll have a look. I just dig out stuff a lot of times, throw it out on my desk, things that I think I might like. I can't have all super busy items. It just, in my brain doesn't look right. But it's something that we can definitely play with. I could also pull out some other focal points if I wanted, like birds or flowers and lace and butterflies, and those would all be something really simple too if I wanted to play with them. But sort of like that. Now, I will say when things aren't laying real flat, the tweezers are nice for helping hold stuff down so you can see it more in the orientation that you want it to be, instead of winging up like it oftentimes does. But I think I actually like that. I don't mind it at all. I sometimes ink, sometimes don't. I think I'm going to ink around the edge of a few of these lighter items, just to add a little definition so that they stand off the paper a little more and don't really melt into the background. I'm not going to go crazy with it, but it gives a little bit of definition. But anyways, catching up with you guys. Kids are doing good. They're doing great in school. They're in first grade now. My husband's off to work right now. I am currently, I got laid off in September. I've currently applied for disability to see if I can get that. Not only for my fibromyalgia condition, but for some other, like anxiety, depression, some other mental things and stuff that go along with it that make it difficult to work. So I'm going through that process. I've had 2 denials. I got the paperwork today actually to sign to do my appeal for the third process, or third segment. There's 5 total segments that you can do. First 2, the way it's been explained to me, the first 2 are like, there's somebody in Social Security office that takes and looks at your medical documentation. So it's just a on the paper evaluation. They don't see you, they don't know who you are. It's just based on what it looks like on paper. The first one is evaluated by someone. If that is declined, then you have the opportunity to appeal, which we did. I'm working with a lawyer. First time I didn't. I sent it in on my own. The second time I did choose to go get a lawyer. But you can then file an appeal, and then it goes to the second round. And the second round is essentially the same exact thing as the first round, but somebody different looks at your paperwork to see if maybe the first person missed something and maybe the second person has a different view on things. So again, they just base it on your paperwork evaluation, your medical paperwork. And again, I was denied. They feel, I guess, that if you can do any work, you know, it used to be if you had to do work, you know, you could do work in what your background is. Mine's in like engineering or project management. I have a mechanical engineering technology degree, so I've worked my last job as an estimator, and I've also worked as a project manager and stuff. But anyways, I got the paperwork to sign for the third segment, which is one where you have a hearing before a judge. I did ask my lawyer, how is that different? Because obviously all the information's the same. You know, they'll have the medical information, stuff like that. It's not like I've got new conditions since this started. So I asked, you know, how is this one going to be different? And the way she explained it is, you know, in this case, it's like you're going through and appealing or advocating for yourself. Let me see if there's any. This may not work with any lace, but I'll break some out. Look. But she said, you know, this is a case where you'll be advocating now for yourself. So you have a chance to go before the judge, explain your day-to-day, you know, things that you can do, what you can't do. Is there anything on here that might work and might not? But anyways, you have a chance to go before the judge and explain, you know, your day-to-day activities, any limitations. And my lawyer said, you know, in this instance, it's a lot harder for somebody to say no when they're able to see the person face to face. Obviously, you have to give a good reason. You know, you can't just be willy-nilly in there. But if you advocate properly, let me pull this out. Sorry about that, guys. But if you advocate properly, then it does give you a chance to have a more personal touch to this whole process. And it makes it easier to have them understand why your limitations are what they are. Let me cut this off and we'll get this out of our way. And what I might do, I think, is put this on but wrap it around the edge, and that'll help cover up these. And if I get it glued down well enough, which I'm going to be using Fabri-Tac glue here, when I glue it down, I'm going to glue it both on the front and the back, you know, since I'm going to be wrapping it over the edge. And I'm going to try to glue it pretty darn well. I think I'll start with this front side. But that is the stage of the process that I am currently in. There are 2 more steps possible after this stage. There is a step where, if I understand it correctly, it goes before like the state board for the Social Security. If that's, declined, then it could go before the federal board. Hopefully I don't get to that point. I've been lucky enough that my first 2 segments have gone relatively quickly. They say that it can take 2/3 of a year or more, anywhere from, say, 9 months to 24 months per segment. I've been lucky in that my first 2 segments come back pretty quick. I started this process, and let me lay something down. I'm trying to think. Let me grab a glue book if I can get it out. I started this whole process in September, and I've already been through 2 stages. So like I said, I've gotten lucky with that. She did say this next stage will take a little longer, that it's likely to not, I likely won't have my hearing till in the fall or winter. Because she said, at least with, her experience, she'll fill out the paperwork, send it in, indicating that we do wish to appeal. Then they take, several months to schedule a hearing. Then it takes several months to get to the hearing. And in the meantime, I'll be in touch with her office a lot more, because I think that looks nice. That sort of finishes that off. What do you think? I think it looks nice. Not in your face, but definitely noticeable. And like I said, we can then take and pull this apart. Oops. When we open it up, then we have journaling space inside. I do have a couple different pages in here. Boy, this is not meant to be my day on this project. Looks like some glue seeps from somewhere on the edge. But anyways, I forget what I was saying. There's a good reason why I think of my little, I think it's 9x7 area here as a squirrel brain studio, because this mama here is definitely a squirrel brain. I forget a lot. That's, part of the reason why, I think it's going to make it hard for me to work, because there are times I can be mid-sentence and I just go totally blank and forget. Makes it a little tough, which, you fellow fibro warriors definitely know all about that. So, I just wanted to come on and quickly touch base with you, show you what I was up to. I think I'm going to sit down and make several more of these. I don't want to keep you all day. I know how busy y'all are, and I want to be respectful of your time. So I look forward to visiting with you more. You'll probably see a lot of crafting on this video. It's something that will give me, or crafting on this channel, it's something that puts me at ease and makes it, a much more relaxed environment. So it'll be easier for me to talk about different things going on. But there might be times where the videos are, strictly fibro-based too. But my thought is I want to focus a lot on things that I enjoy to support my mental health, which is, in my mind, I think a big part of fibro as well. Because if you're not mentally healthy and happy, then it can have a negative impact on your body. So that is what I also want to share on here is, my perspective on how to keep your mental health in good shape. So thanks for coming to join me today. I look forward to seeing you in the future, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye, guys.